Dentist. Hallie, are you at the dentist? They just told me you're at the dentist. Hallie and Jace. This is 2-1 frequency distributions or a frequency table. Here you go. Okay, this is a frequency table. Yeah? Here's what we've got going on. We have ages of Best Actress. So these are the people who won Oscars, aka Academy Awards, and the year. And these are all women, right? Best Actress. So 20 to 29 years old, there was 29 of them. 30 to 39 years old, there was 34 of them, and so on and so forth. From this chart, I can see that. What? 30 to 39 is the most prevalent age at which women win Academy Awards or Oscars, right? Okay? Basically, women peak early because we get like wrinkles and gray hair and all the things, right? Okay? We're going to eventually look at a table where they have both men and women somewhere, and we'll compare them, and it will end up like, you will end up seeing that men's like highest frequencies are in this area, okay? Because men don't have any stress in their life, so they don't have a reason to get wrinkles, and they age better than women, right? Okay? That's just how that works. Yeah. That's exactly how it is. Women is vanity. Men is actually like they have to look at their skill because you guys are not very pretty. All right. So there's that. Now, here is the issue. Ready? I'm going to talk about the issue with this frequency table. The main issue with this frequency table is this, okay? I can tell how many people we surveyed, right? 29, this would be 30, this would be 34, 5, I don't know, did we do 100? How many is that? 30 plus 35 plus 17 plus 5, 40, 70, 87 people, okay? I can tell that we surveyed 87 people, or we took 87 like women that won Academy Awards and took their age, right? But here's the issue. I do not have the raw data of each individual woman and how old they are. I only know that 29 of them were in this category. Maybe all 29 of them were 22 years old, but I have no idea of knowing that, right? I don't know their exact age. Okay, so the issue with this table is, yes, I know that there was this many in that range, but I don't know exact values. Okay, that is the issue with that. Okay, I do not know exact values. I do not have the raw data and know exactly what age they are. Make sense? Okay, this is a frequency table. We're going to add columns to this frequency table down below, but I'm going to show you what some of this stuff means. So here we go. We have this information, and they are called upper class limits and lower class limits. My lower class limits are the lower bound for each class. Okay? So, what are my lower class limits? 20, 30, 40, blah, 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 all the way up through 80. Right? Those are my lower bounds, okay? The upper class limits are the upper bound for each class. They are what? 29, 39, all the way up through 89. Yeah? Those are my upper class limits, all right? Let's go to class width. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Class width. There is only one number that lists the class width. How wide are my classes? I bet you get it wrong. No.
10.
It is 10. Your class width is 10 years because you go from lower bound to lower bound, like the start of one class to the start of the next class, or the end of one class to the end of the next class. You do not measure from the start of one to the end of one, right? Okay, so it's not 9, it's 10. Do you see how that works? That is your class width, okay? So I'm going to say from lower to lower or upper to upper. But that is the biggest mistake, is that like you measure like how wide it is. You want to go and subtract lower to lower or upper to upper, right? Okay, good? All right, midpoints. How do you find a midpoint? Geometry, we're doing this right now. Finding the midpoint is like finding the average, right? So class midpoint or class average, right? How do you average things? Like, how do I find the middle? Yeah, I want to find the middle of 20 to 29. So I'm going to add those together. 20 plus 29 divided by 2. 49 divided by 2 is? 24.5 is the first class average. What's the next one? 34.5. All the way up through 84.5, right? Okay, that would be my last one. You can list them all out if you want to, but three of them is enough to set the trend, right? Okay, do you see how we got the class midpoint? The average of the lower and upper bound, or limit, I'll say limit. Okay, for one class, you average the lower number and the upper number together, and that gives you your class midpoint. All right, the reason why I saved boundary for last is because it's a little confusing. All right, so get your thinking caps on. Ready? Let's say, age is kind of easy to do, but let's say these were numbers other than age, like the number of milliliters in a glass of water, okay? So we have 20 to 29 milliliters, 30 to 39 milliliters. What happens if it was 29.2 milliliters? Where does it go? Does it go in this category or this category?
30.
Okay. What if it's 29.7 milliliters? Where does it go? What?
29. No.
So the class boundary.
364 days old, you're still 29.
Correct. Like, I get that. But, yeah, that's why I said, like, let's not talk age. Let's talk milliliters instead, okay? So the class boundary is the 0.5 mark that's halfway between one and the other, right? That's where you round, right? So if it is below 29.5, we're going to round down. If it's above 29.5, we're going to round up, right? Okay? So for my class boundary, I've got 29.5. I've got 39.5. I've got all the way up through like 79.5. Okay? It is basically the average of upper to the next lower, right? You're averaging the upper one, so 29 and 30, I'm averaging those together. I'm finding the exact middle from 29 to 30. Does that make sense? Okay, now I'm gonna throw another loop in here. Ready? Okay. Let's say it was 20.0 to 20.1, 20.2 to 20.3, 20.3 to 20.4. Let's say that was my classes, right? Because we had really small increments. For one thing, what's my class width? 0.2, right? From 1 to 1. I guess this should start with 4 and go to 5. Sorry, I screwed that up. There's 0.2 from one to the next, right? Okay. What's my class boundary now? Because this is 0.1 and this is 0.2. What would be my first class boundary? What?
20.
Yeah, 20.15. We would go another decimal beyond that. Does that make sense? Okay. So you're going to go the 0.5 mark beyond the decimal that you're at now, right? Okay. Makes sense? This guy would be 20.35. Anything below 20.35 is going to go here. Anything above 20.35 is going to go there. That's your boundary, okay? For rounding purposes, okay? They put that in there. All right? Good. That is your class boundaries. Let's do this. We'll talk through this, and let's do example 1, and then we'll stop, okay? All right, so let's say we are starting a frequency distribution table from scratch, and we don't have anything going on here, all right? How do we decide how we set up our table? Like what our classes are going to be, right? From there, you just tally the frequency and all that stuff, but how do we set up our classes? Here's what we do. Typically, a frequency table is going to have anywhere between 5 and 20 classes, right? 5 classes if your data is not very many. Like if you have like 100 data points and your numbers are closer together, you're going to maybe do 5 classes. If you have like 1,000 data points and your numbers are spread apart, you might do 20 classes. Does that make sense? Okay. So, depending on what your data looks like, you'll have anywhere between 5 and 20 classes. Got it? Okay, that is going to determine your class width. Okay, so how wide your classes are. We're going to take the maximum value, subtract the minimum value. So we take the range and we divide by the number of classes that we want. Okay, the range and divide by the number of classes that we want. Now here's the deal. Let's say this, okay? Let's say my highest number is 100. My lowest number is 60. Let's say we're doing grades, right? Okay, and I want 5 classes. 5 classes. So I do 100 minus 60 divided by 5. 100 minus 60 is 40, and 40 divided by 5 comes out to an even 8. Guess what? If you do 8 for your class width, you will not end up with the right numbers. Okay? Let me show you. Let's say we start with 60. We're going 60 to 60. If we have a class width of 8, 7. 68 goes here. The next class is going to start at 76. The next class starts at 84. The next class starts at 92. Okay? This class will start at 100, which means this one will end at 99. This one ends at 91. This one ends at 83. This one ends at 75. Here are my 5 classes. True? But my highest point was 100. Where does 100 live? I didn't do enough, right? So even though I landed on an exact number 8 that's going to go in each class, I always round up to the next whole number, even if it turns out to be an even number. Because in order to do that, I have to be able to snag that 100, and if I do 8 exactly, that 100 is not going to fit in there. Does that make sense? So I have to do class sizes of 9 instead of 8, right? In order to be able to snag that 100 and have it live in there. Does that make sense? Now this thing's off, so I can talk a little quieter. Okay? Clear as mud? All right? Okay. All right. Choose values for the first lower class. Choose values for the whatever, blah, 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 all that stuff. Okay. I'm going to go here and I'm going to cheat a bit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, you can decide your class width this way using like the algebra of it, or you can do nice numbers that would be like reasonable, right? So if I was doing class scores, here's what I would do. Instead of going 8 as my limits here, I'm going to go 60 to 69. I'm going to go 70 to 79, right? So 79. So any number that was in the 60s will live here. Any number that's in the 70s will live here. That makes it easier to count frequency-wise, right? 80 to 89, 90 to 99. So I might only do like 4 classes, right? So you can choose to go by the algebra of it, or you can choose numbers that seem reasonable, all right? Which is what we're going to do in the next thing. So here we go. We're going to set this guy up. Here is my McDonald's lunch service times. Let me explain to you what this means. Somebody going through the drive-thru starts timing as soon as they place their order, stops timing as soon as they receive their order. And this is the number of seconds. So it took 107 seconds for this person to receive their order. That's about a minute and a half. I don't think I've ever gone through McDonald's and had a minute and a half. Okay? Let's go. Where's my big one? 3:08. How many minutes is that? 5 minutes and 8 seconds. That's probably more like it, right? That's probably the low end now, right? Okay? Even with the 2 drive-through sides or whatever. Okay? So there is that. All right, we've got, how many of these are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 times 3 is 51. So we have 50. We have 50 numbers. All right, just so that we know for later on. All right, because we're going to tally these. Okay, what is my smallest? I see a 90 in there. That's exactly a minute and a half. Anything else? 83. Yep, I see an 83. Woo, top row. 83. Whoa. Anything lower than 83? I don't think so. Highest, is that 308 number? Biggest is 308? Okay, so now we've got to decide. 308, and they tell us use 5 classes. They tell us to use 5 classes. All right, so 308 minus 83 divided by 5. 225. What's 225 divided by 5? 25? You're kidding me. Is it really?
Is it not?
225 divided by 5. That is not 25.
No, I lied.
125 divided by 5 is 25.
Yeah.
45.
45.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can start at 83 and we can go by 45s, right? Here's what I want to do instead. I'm going to bump this number up to 50. We're going to go 50 each increment. We're going to make this nicer. We're going to start at not 83. I'm going to start easier than 80. Yeah, 80. What would be easier than 80 if we're going by 50s?
50.
No, 50 is too
100.
low. No, because then we won't catch the 83.
90.
Let's start at 75, right? If we start at 75 and go by 50s, that would be easy to add, right? Should we do that?
Sure.
So we're going to start at 75. And we're going to go by 50s, which means this next one should start at, where? 125, so it should end at 124. I always do the next one and then subtract one from there, okay? This next one up, if I add 50 more, is 175. So this one should end at 174. Do we see what we're doing here? Okay. If I add another 50, that is 225. Yeah? Okay. Add another 50. Let's go to, what is that, 275? Okay. Add another 50. My next one would start at 325. Okay. So this is going to go to 324. Okay. This one goes to 274. This one goes to 224. Am I going to catch my lowest one? Am I going to catch my highest one? Yeah. Okay. All right. What's the best way to do this?
Yep.
Okay. Somebody read them, and I'll tally, and you guys make sure I'm tallying in the right spot. Go.
107.
107 is here.
139.
139 is here.
197.
197 is here.
209.
209.
281.
281.
254.
254. 163.
150.
150.
Yeah, 127.
127.
308.
308.
206.
206.
187.
187.
169.
169.
83.
83. Okay.
127.
127. 133. 140. 143. 130. 144. 91. 113. 153. 255. 252. 200. 117. 167. 148. 184. 123. 153. 155. 154. 100. 117. 101. 138. 186. 196. 146. 90. 144. 119. 135. 151. 197. 171. 190. 169. Got them all? Okay. God, I hope this adds up to 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the top.
Why don't you just tally the 5?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that?
I didn't do the 5s because I was just whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 and 2. Does that add up to be 50? Perfect. 50. All right, from here, this is my frequency table. Which time should I expect most often?
125.
Usually 2 to 3 minutes, right? 120 and 180 would be 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 to 3 minute mark, that's going to be my most prevalent one. Got it? Okay, that's my frequency table. Okay? Good? All right, on the homework assignment, I tell you use 5 classes, start at this one. So everybody ends up being the same, right? So if you want to go ahead and start the homework, where's my homework? Right here. You can do 5 and 6 if you want. You can do 11. I tell you to start with a lower class limit of 125 and go a class width of 25. Okay? So everybody should look identical so you know exactly what should be, right? Okay? So you can do the whole first page. Is it only one page? Oh, hey.
The front and the back.
What?
One
It's
back.
5, 6, and 11 on the back.
Oh. Yeah, do 5, 6, and 11. You can't do the front. I don't know why that's backwards. You should be able to do 5, 6, and 11 and not the front page. I don't know why that's backwards. That's weird. Yes. Okay, so get to working on those. And there you go.
Test.
Good, good? All right, goodbye. Who are we recording for? Hallie and
Mace.
Jace.